Hi everyone, I'm going to do a recap of the week's moves on the pound dollar, and we're just going to run through trading the basic high-low strategy with reversal trades. So a bit of a refresher. I know the daily video is still pending, but what I want to say is, if you want to trade the daily time frame, you just need to use this system on the daily time frame. So what I'm showing you now is essentially the best way to trade the daily as well. I don't like saying the best. A good combination of easy to manage and consistent profits. So could be your best way of trading the daily as well. Anyway, let's get into it. Right. So start of the week here. Okay. First part. Just to remind you, I'm not using the close anymore. I'm just using breakout of the high and low. Okay. So you don't need to consider the close of the bar. Okay, you can add that. It gives you less trades as less management, but again, it's not necessarily going to be any better. So here was our first trade, short. Okay, breakout of the low, stop over the high. So we're going short and we're looking for a breakout of the high. Okay, maybe if you put your entry a little bit tight there, you would have had a long breakout here. At this point, you're hedged. Here's where you need to make an exit decision. Do you want to close for this small bit of profit, or do you want to hold for more? Okay, if you're going to hold and take the hedge, then you wait for the hedge to break out, or you get a reversal trade. And this long gets stopped out on the next bar here, and then price continues down, and it probably didn't get triggered into this one either, but let's say you did. Play devil's advocate, be pessimistic with our testing. Okay, so that's the end of the day, and again, now you have this hedge, you have some profit, you need to make a decision. Do you close your short? Do you move your stop up to break even, or do you just leave it as it is? Okay, this long would have stopped out here the next day. Here's your first long breakout in the morning. Okay, price comes up, and then here's your first short breakout. Let's presume we're still holding yesterday's high. Now you need to make a decision. Do you want to close this small profit? It's a small profit, it's not really worth closing. So we're going short, we're looking for a long breakout. Price comes all the way down, and here's your long breakout here. Okay, again, now we need to make a decision. This has been stopped out as well. 3 losses, and you have these 2 big wins, which will be much more profit than those 3 losses. There's probably a good place to take some profit off the table. You can close just this short, or you can just close this short, or you can close them both, or you can just keep them open. If you want to go for really big wins, and it can take a lot of losers, you can go down that route. So that's the end of Tuesday. Just going to move on to Wednesday. Where's my highlight gone? So here was your last long here. That stopped out in the morning. Here's your first breakout short, and then price reverses and goes long, and then you have an opportunity for a reversal trade short here. Okay, and then price breaks up, your 2 shorts are stopped out, and you're just holding the 1 long. I'll just remove those losses. So now you're just holding this long. Here's our short setup. Again, you have an opportunity now to make an exit decision or hold the hedge. Price breaks down, stops you out again, and then you have a breakout of the high. You have a new low. Now you've got a hedge here with no profit, so there's no point doing anything. Here's an opportunity for a reversal trade, and that's the end of the day. When you take these reversal trades and you're holding a hedge, okay, so we've got a long from the low and a short from the high, you can manage this one more aggressively. So at the end of the day here, you could say, okay, well, I'm just going to take that one off the board and leave the hedge. Okay, something I do with the reversal trades sometimes is I'll trail my stop on them when the trade's in profit. So I could move my stop down here into profit. Okay, so let's say we managed our trades that way, and at the end of the day we just have this hedge. Next day we start again. Here's our first breakout. It's long, stop under the low, price breaks up, and here's our next short trade at the high. This short has been stopped out. We have these two longs that we now have a decision to manage. Prices, what you need to do when you're in these situations is you need to forget that there's going to be a right answer and a best decision, or that you can make a set of rules up predetermined what you're going to do with all your trades. But long term, you're going to make much better decisions if you use the context as well. So what you need to do is look at the context of what you're in. So we've been in this rangy market here. We've taken 3 losses in there, and our price has broken up. It's not a big win, but we've got an opportunity here to recover most of those losses and then start our sequence again. So you're now making a judgment based on what's happened, not what you're presuming is going to happen. So it may be you decide to continue to hold these trades. Whether you know that's going to be the right answer or not, you don't know. But on those previous 2 days there, we made nice profit. Okay, this day here we've made some losses, and here we've got a chance to remove some of those losses and remain positive for the week, and then we start our sequence again, and hopefully have a nice movement day. Again, we can't predetermine any of that. You're much better off using some judgment, thinking about your risks, thinking about your profit, and also thinking about the distribution of price movement. Price, if we look very closely at price, it seems really complex. If we zoom out a bit, then essentially price moves and then it consolidates, and then it moves, sometimes reversing on itself, and it consolidates, and it moves and it consolidates and moves. Okay, that's 90% of the time price does that. 10% of the time price will do this. It will just move in one direction. Okay, and then in other words, this is the least likely thing to occur. And the other least likely thing is price to just consolidate and consolidate and consolidate and consolidate. That's the least likely thing to happen. So if we've started trading here and we've had a couple of days where we had a big win, okay, and now we've just traded 2 days where it's been consolidating, then you need to be able to make judgments based on what's happened. Okay, if you're going to try and decide beforehand a best rule that's going to work through all of these different movements, you're just kind of asking yourself to do something which is nearly impossible to do. So I know the hardest thing to do is accept that you haven't already got the best exit rule and idea in your head before you start trading. It's really hard to accept that because it's basically saying it's uncertain. I don't know, but I'm going to start trading, and then I'm going to base my judgment and decision off what happens. Really, really hard to do, but read Market Wizards. All of the traders there accept that, a lot of it's going to come down to their decision making. Ultimately, I think if you want to be really successful as a trader, you at least need to accept that. Then if you want to build strict rules, build them with that in mind. So anyway, a lot of rambling there. Difficult points to get across because it's not naturally how we think. So anyway, I've closed out these two small wins here just to cover my losses there. I'm probably still made a bit of a net loss, but I haven't really eaten into these big wins here. Okay, so now I'm short from the high, and then price breaks down, and then we have a little reverse trade here if we go right to the end of the day. Okay, so that's the end of that day. Just going to move on to Friday as well. Okay, short from here, little reversal trade. That stops out in the morning. And here was your first breakout long here. Price reverses instantly, and then we have this short here. And then price comes down, and then a long sets up here. Now, again, this is where we need to make a decision. These are the actual trades that I took going into Thursday, Friday. So let's just get rid of this junk. I was short here. I took this stop out here. I was short here, and then I had this long setup here. So at this point, I needed to make a decision how to manage these. And what I went for is I went for closing this one for a profit, taking the long here and holding my short. And then you can see price broke up all the way up to the end of the day. This one was stopped out, and this profit covered that loss. So, I mean, if I recap, the best decision here was to move the stop up on this to break even when the long triggered and close this one for a profit. That was the absolute best I could have made of that price movement. What I chose was I kind of sat on the fence a bit because I thought, maybe we'll break down again. So I had one win, one loss, and then a final win. Still net profit. It wasn't the best, but really what you should be aiming for is acceptable decisions and outcomes. So you're not expecting it always to be getting the actual maximum that the market offered, but you want to come away with a profit, which I did there. And so and then you just repeat that over a long period of time. Those small consistent profits can be compounded, and that's how you make your money. I think if you get into a mindset of right, I'm going to find a system that's always going to get the best out of the market, then ultimately you blunt any profit edge that already existed, and you find yourself breaking even or making consistent small losses, and eventually you deplete your account and you're back to square one. So that was it. That was last week on the pound dollar. And, really honestly, when I'm going to be trading the daily, that's exactly how I'm going to trade the daily. I'm going to trade the high lows and then reversal trades within that. I'll manage the reversal trades more aggressively. And when it comes to taking profit on the high low, then I'm going to make a judgment call based on what the market's done and what profit and what risk is on the table. So that's it. Leave me some comments. I will speak to you all on Monday.